Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at a brand new release from Time Micro. It's the 1/64 scale Koenigsegg Gemera. It's not just any hypercar, it's a 4-seat 2,300 horsepower megacar shrunken down to fit in the palm of your hand. So let's get into it. And starting off with the presentation itself, we've got this clear acrylic box so you can see the car from the side as well as the top, with this massive Gemera writing in the background. Looks really cool, and it just says Time Micro there on the sides, and that's kind of it. So this car is available in 3 different colors: purple, gray and green. Of course this one is the gray one, and each variant is strictly limited to only 999 pieces worldwide. So some do come with a figure, this one does not. But no surprise, these cars sell out really fast. They retail anywhere between 15 to 25 pounds, depends on where you pick it up from. So let's see what you get for your money. The real Gemera made headlines because Koenigsegg did something that no one expected. So they built a hypercar with 4 seats, and it's the first time in the brand's history that you could share the performance of Koenigsegg with 3 passengers at 250 miles an hour. And now, of course, this Time Micro variant kind of lets us get a little bit of a feeling of what it might be to have one of these cars. And this Gemera is available from other brands as well, like HKM in 1/64, but this is the newest release, so I thought it would be a really good model to get, and it's also a really great affordable price. And first impressions, straight away you can see how beautifully proportioned this car is, and I think they've done a really good job in mimicking the shape of the real car. So just a quick glance around it. And we've got a lot of awesome 3-dimensional details and really soft kind of body surfacing in this car, but very typical Koenigsegg lines. And I think overall it just looks really striking straight away. And starting off with the base, it says Gemera Time Micro. This is 160 of 999. Collect Time Micro to share the joy. Well, that's kind of what I'm doing. I hope you're enjoying it as well. And let's check the car out properly. And straight away we can see what an exceptional looking paint quality this car has. So this glossy clear coat looks really beautiful, and it really accentuates all these light lines on the car, and brings a lot of depth into this gray that the car has. And here you can see just the kind of 3-dimensionality that the surfaces have. It's really beautiful and very sculptural looking, and I really like the look of this gray and the way that's contrasted with all the little yellow highlights. So we've got the yellow on the wheels, the Gemera writing on the side, and the entirety of the interior as well. So a really beautiful overall look that this car has. So let's check it out in a little bit more detail. And starting off with a roof area, we've got this massive window in the top of the car just to give a beautiful view to all the passengers as well as the driver of the car. Of course, this is an element that continues from other Koenigsegg models, all the 2-door variants, Agera, Regera, CC850, etc. So that's a very common kind of Koenigsegg element, and beautifully finished off. And then heading a little bit to the front, we've got this massive looking windscreen, and of course we've got the center mounted windscreen wiper as well. Lots of great detail on the interior, just even on the dashboard over there. And then heading to the front, we've got this really sculptural looking front end, and we've got these little air outlets as well, just finished off in that black. And heading further into the front, you can see we've got this really beautiful photo etched Koenigsegg logo, beautiful looking split lines and shut lines. And up front you can see that the Gemera wears Koenigsegg's signature style teardrop headlights, and it's got a lot of 3-dimensionality as well, and really a lot of depth of detail that's gone into there. It's made of separate elements as well, of course, and the aero is kind of aggressive too, especially for a 4-seater car. So we've got a lot of 3-dimensionality and pretty deep looking kind of front splitter, and we've got a lot of vent details as well, so a lot of 3-dimensionality in both the main vent and the one underneath it, just in the center. And we've even got this kind of splitter finishing off the bottom of the bumper in a kind of black finish. And then we've got a little bit of extra detail here, which I think is of course for aerodynamics. And then you can even see we've got the holes for the like sensors and all those kind of things. So really beautiful and very detailed as well. And heading into the front wheels over here, you can see that the Gemera rolls on these very intricate looking 9-spoke alloys. They're really beautifully replicated over here. On the real car, of course, they're staggered 21-inch in the front and 22s at the rear, and wrapped in this bespoke Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires developed specifically for the Gemera. And you can even see that the tires have this little white lines going around them, similar to the Jesko, and we've even got a little bit of writing on the wheel, and that's just absolutely incredible attention to detail from Time Micro. And of course, the look of the wheel itself, we've got this sort of metallic kind of depth in these wheels, but they're also gloss at the same time. It really kind of mirrors the real car's wheels. And of course, just behind them you can see that we've got this massive carbon ceramic disc brakes that the Koenigsegg has. Of course, we don't have any branding on the calipers, but the real one would say Koenigsegg. And of course, these brakes are the same ones that can stop this insane Megacar from 400 kilometers an hour. So really beautifully replicated. And then a little bit more sculptural in the front end over here. And we've got another sensor on the side. And then we've got a bit of three-dimensionality at this kind of door opening over here, just finished off in black. The print is a little bit misaligned, so I'm not sure if that's the same on both sides. Yeah, this side's maybe a little bit better, but yes, so that's just kind of finished off in black. And then, of course, one of the most striking features on the real car is this massive dihedral synchro helix door, typical of Koenigsegg, but this time it is really massive. So these ones swing out and forward, taking a chunk of the roof as well with them, so that the rear passengers can climb in and out easily. You can see how really long these doors are, but they are really well proportioned for the body and beautifully sculpted in the scale. And then some more detail on the doors. You can see we've got the rear view cameras, so no rear view mirrors over here. And then of course we've got this really typical Koenigsegg D-yellow that continues all around the car, and it kind of finishes off in this side air intake just behind the doors. And we've got this really long window as well, and you can see it's kind of separated into two so that the bottom half can be pulled down. And it's really nice because there's no break in the window, there's no kind of B-pillar. The B-pillar is all the way sort of back here, so we've got a really good amount of visibility in and out of the car as well. Lots of three-dimensionality in the side intake area as well, beautifully sculpted, and you can see how natural and almost organic that area looks, and I'm really hugely fond of that. I think this is a really exquisite looking car. And then we've got these beautiful looking carbon fiber side skirts, so just indexing all the way from the front into the side, amazing looking finish. And then the rear fenders, once again, beautiful gloss, and we've got a lot of sort of sculptural look to it. And then of course there we have the filler cap area, and we've got quite a lot of geometry in this kind of C pillar, or B I suppose almost, pillar as well. And it's kind of a complex looking area with that side air intake as well as that filler cap over there, and really beautiful looking rear haunch. And then of course the rear wheel, as I mentioned before, is the 22-inch variant, and you can see the brakes are a little bit of a lower angle on the rear over here. And we've got a little bit of a sensor just behind the back wheel as well. And then coming to the rear of the car, from the back you can really see that the Gemera looks every bit like Koenigsegg. So we've got these really dramatic looking LED tail lights. They are kind of similar to the way that the Jesko's lights looked, at least to me anyways. And of course, coming into the rear, we've got this kind of black separated element that just says Koenigsegg. And then we've got this really cool looking like tail fin almost kind of rear wing. So it's got a lot of three-dimensionality and kind of like a lot of tuck under over there, and that's very cool looking. Once again, extremely organic. Then we've got this number plate Gemera and a lot of carbon fiber on the rear, as well as these massive three-dimensional air outlets just to channel air away from the engine and of course from the wheels as well. And then of course, in true Koenigsegg fashion, we've also got this colossal looking rear diffuser. Also, once again, a pretty organic finish, and it's kind of poking out quite far from the car, and that's a very cool looking style that this car has. And now we get into the heart of the beast. So the power comes from a really wild hybrid setup. It has a 2-liter twin-turbo 3-cylinder nicknamed the Tiny Friendly Giant, and it's paired with 3 electric motors. And in its updated spec, Koenigsegg actually added a 5-liter twin-turbo V8 with a new dark matter E motor, and combined you're looking at like 2,300 horsepower and 2,750 newton meters of torque, and it makes it the most powerful fully road legal production car in the world, and that's in a 4-seater car. It's just absolutely astounding. And of course you can see that it's been recreated in beautiful detail at the scale. We've got that little Koenigsegg logo and even the Koenigsegg emblem in the center, although it would have been nice if it was a little photo etched piece added on. But we've also got this kind of cross brace, and we've even got this carbon fiber rear deck lid and a lot of three-dimensionality, and even have these little exhausts. And of course we can't leave out the Ghost Squadron logo, just finished off in this yellow, just to accent those yellow elements on the car once again. And now we make a return all the way back to the interior of the car that you can kind of see through this nice window over here. So inside, the real Gemera is more of a luxury lounge rather than a kind of stripped out racer. It's got 4 memory foam seats, twin infotainment systems, 11 sound like speakers as well, wireless charging, heated and cooled cup holders even. And you can even see those in there, and that was a really interesting little design element that was showcased. So you can kind of see the cup holders there and in the front as well. And that was a funny little quirky feature, and it really shows that Koenigsegg really puts the car ahead, not just for speed purposes, but for 4 adults just to sit comfortably and really enjoy the journey. And of course, a lot of three-dimensionality in there. You can see that infotainment system. It's kind of hard to get a look in there, but we've got a beautifully sculpted seats as well, and really nice highlighting on the seats too. And you can see that, I'll try to get in there for you. You can see we've got the steering wheel as well with the Koenigsegg logo, and there's the infotainment screen. Once again, similar to the Jesko, but there is nothing displayed on the screen. But it is really beautifully sculpted on the interior of this car as well. I have also quickly removed the car from the base just to show you that the wheels do actually spin, and the rear as well. They're not quite as well. And then underneath you can also see how long this rear diffuser is. And in terms of weight, it's got a bit of weight to it. It's like pretty much like a die-cast model. It weighs roughly the same as what you'd expect maybe a Hot Wheels to weigh or something like that. And now under this more dynamic kind of lighting, you can see that Time Micro's Gemera really captures the essence of Koenigsegg's 4-seater Megacar perfectly. It's got really beautiful highlights and light lines, and it's got an extremely sculptural feel. It's very soft and organic on the surfaces, and I think they've really nailed the look of this car. Of course, the proportions are really well done. It's got a really great stance, and the wheels make it look really cool as well, especially with the little pinstripes running around them. And of course, it just really captures the presence of this Koenigsegg perfectly. Of course, this is only a tiny scale variant, but I think they've really managed to capture the essence of the car. And so that sums up the brand new Time Micro Gemera. Every single one of the real cars is actually already spoken for, and the initial production run sold out before most people even saw one in person. It's super rare, it's very extreme, and now here it is in 1/64 from Time Micro for the collectors lucky enough to grab one. So let me know, what do you think about this model? Are you going to be picking one up? And if so, which color do you prefer out of the 3 that are available? And if you've liked this video, please press like and subscribe to the channel for more crazy diecast unboxing and review videos. And if you're a huge Koenigsegg fan, I've got a ton of other Koenigsegg's that I've showcased on the channel before. Links are just down below, so check those out. And thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Ciao.